What's up, everybody? The Taxman is back with another best ball stream. My name's Kyle. We're doing another big dog, $500 to enter. Thanks for joining. While you're here, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to win some money for the third straight year doing underdog best ball, at least try our very best. And I'm very confident in my ability to recognize talents and pick the right people. Pardon that little blackout we had there. But yeah, I mean, roster construction, um, game theory, it only gets you so far, in my opinion. You need to know which players to draft and get sprinkled in value on those players as well. Roster construction, game theory, it all plays a little bit into it, but picking the right players, in my opinion, is the most important thing that you can do. So could go Amon-Ra St. Brown here. I like him for his consistency. He's on a great offense. He's been probably the most consistent wide receiver in the league for the past 3 years. So, pretty safe pick. They also have a pretty easy schedule. They play in a lot of domes this year. And David Montgomery leaves, so some touchdown volume opens up there. A lot of that should go to Jahmyr Gibbs, but some of it I think could go to Amon-Ra St. Brown if they just throw more near the red zone rather than handing it to David Montgomery. Because Isaiah Pacheco, in my opinion, is nowhere near the talent of David Montgomery. So I think they're going to figure that out, that they can't really rely on him to punch it in. And they don't want to kill Jahmyr Gibbs at the end of the day, giving him so many goal line touches, so they might throw the ball more. So I could see him having a career year in the touchdown field and get like 15. I think his highest is 12. So it's only 3 more than what he's gotten in the past, which is just not crazy. And if that happens, he's going to smash. He could score the most touchdowns in the league with the most yards, aka wide receiver 1. He hasn't done it yet in his career. This guy's a big time goal setter too. Like there's been multiple interviews where he talks about like the goals that he sets, and I mean he reaches those goals he has in the past. So one of his goals is to finish as the wide receiver 1. I just feel like he has a very strong mentality for an athlete, and that obviously is why he's so consistent. Knock on wood. So his mental game is super strong. I would rather have guys on my team like him than Rashee Rice, who could get pulled over for drinking and driving or speeding. Could follow it up with a Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers. I think I might just go Brock Bowers here. I don't know how many I have of him in the big dog. So definitely do not mind picking him up here and increasing my exposure by $500. He could break fantasy football this year. Similar to Amon-Ra, I think they both could have career years. I know they both could have career years because they're in the prime of their careers. That's how it works. Davante Adams, for example, I doubt he's going to have a career year because he's 33 years old, but you never know. Mentality for these athletes, like I said with Amon-Ra, plays a role, and clearly Davante Adams also has a very strong mentality, or else he wouldn't have been able to last this long in the NFL. So I still like taking him as well. He's on a good offense too. I just don't really think you should be fading Davante, and he's cheap. Like, you're getting a guy who scored 14 touchdowns in, I think he usually goes in like the 5th round. And even if he misses a couple games, it's not that big of a deal for where you're getting him. As long as he's here at the end of the season, would be fantastic. And they get Tampa Bay in week 17. I really like that matchup. So definitely will not be going double elite tight end. Could get Breece Hall, could also get Kyren Williams, but I really like Blake Corum at that, like towards the middle of the draft. So I'm cool with getting one wide receiver, one tight end, and one running back through 3 rounds. And I like Breece Hall as well. He's another guy. It's kind of like me just betting on his talent and the fact that he's only 24 years old and that offense should have improved at least from last year. So as long as he can take a step up, I feel like this is right where he should be going. He can catch a lot of passes. Geno Smith, I've heard they want to push the ball downfield and that they are pushing the ball down the field, which makes sense because of the wide receivers they have. So that could open up a lot for Breece Hall, in my opinion. There's news that Luther Burden is now injured with a groin strain, which isn't ideal, but if he does miss any time, it's going to be at the beginning of the season. I just hope he doesn't like try to play through it and get injured again. That's always the concern, is a re-injury, trying to rush back for week 1. So I just hope they play it smart with him, which there's no reason that they shouldn't. Like, he has almost a month to recover, and plus if he misses 1 or 2 weeks, it's not the end of the world. Because in best ball, we just need his spike weeks that he is bound to have if he's healthy and if he has Caleb Williams throwing him the ball. He's going to have those spike weeks because he's going to catch long passes. We saw it at the end of last year. He helped people win championships. Could go double tight end with Colston Loveland, though. Since Luther Burden's injured, I still like to get Bears exposure, regardless. So, and I have some like decently reliable guys in the other positions, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Again, I plan to do like 15 big dogs, and I really like at least one of them to have like this type of strategy of the double elite tight end, because Colston Loveland could easily outscore Trey McBride this year, and then I have the top 2 tight ends. I mean, it was only like 1 year ago where Trey McBride had like 3 touchdowns. So he could definitely digress in the touchdown department. I think he had like 11 last year or something. And he was just at the end of the season, he was getting all the volume because it was just him and Michael Wilson. Marvin Harrison Jr. is healthy again. They bring in Jeremiah Love. They bring in Tyler Algier. So these are all guys that are going to be taking red zone looks away from him. Where Colston Loveland, there's not as much competition for targets. Luther Burden just gets injured now. So it's like he's now the number 1 guy in my eyes over the other wide receiver. I'm blanking on his name because I never take him. Roman Dunze, which I could sprinkle him in here just to have him on one big dog team. We'll see if he falls to me. I'm coming back up on the clock. Trevion Henderson's here. Could take him. Carnell Tate, BTJ, DJ Moore. I kind of like the upside and just I'm going to take more volume here, so I like sprinkling a guy like this in. He had 9 touchdowns last year. He catches passes. He's a good player. And even if he splits time, I still like his ability on a weekly basis to score a touchdown, regardless if Ramondre Stevenson's getting work or not. And he's end of a tier for me. Like after him, it's just Jarian Price. And these rooms tend to be very running back thirsty. A lot of guys already have 3. So I got to keep up with them a little bit, getting 2. I can find wide receiver value later on in the draft. Like I said, I'm confident in my ability, especially with receivers, to recognize talent on film. I did it 2 years ago with BTJ. I continuously took him in the later part of the draft, as well as like every guy. I feel like I was big into, I still am, Dejon Stribling. And then he starts moving up draft boards because he starts getting camp hype. And then me, I'm like, I'm not surprised he's getting camp hype because I liked his film. Same thing happened with me with Cyrus Allen. And same thing happened with me. Actually, Jacoby Lane was getting hype. So then it made me go back and watch his film again. And then I realized he has great hands for a 6'4" wide receiver. And he can create enough separation where, because of his height and his hands, he can catch the ball and box people out. I really like the fit with Lamar Jackson because Zay Flowers isn't like that, and Mark Andrews is kind of washed in my opinion. Definitely will look to take one of these wide receivers here to pair up with Amon-Ra.
What's up, everybody? The accountant is back with another best ball draft. This one is the big eliminator, $100 to enter. I believe first place takes down.
Sorry about that. That was my other stream that I was editing, just finished editing, so it started playing. But anyway, I took BTJ there. Really like the fall that we're getting with BTJ because Parker Washington, people are starting to take Parker Washington higher and higher and flip the two. But it's fine with me. I still think they both can eat in this offense regardless. They do different things. So BTJ catches more downfield passes, which is honestly, I would rather arguably have that in best ball, where Parker Washington's going to be the more underneath guy. So he should have more volume. So I like him better in like a DraftKings where it's PPR, but give me BTJ in a half-point PPR format. We saw his ceiling, his rookie season. I doubt that's going to be his career year, considering it was his first year. So he is someone that I've continued to get exposure to. And as Parker Washington goes up, I probably will just keep taking more of him, especially if he's the top guy on the board, based off of ADP. I mean, I like him better. Like, he could easily outscore any of these guys. We've already seen it. And sometimes competition, they could push each other in a good way if they both are just crushing it. A little healthy competition never hurt anybody. Could look to take another running back here that I like. RJ Harvey does play Trevion Henderson. I'm swinging at 2 upside bets, so I don't hate that. I also do like pairing backfields with Denver and grabbing like RJ Harvey and then later the rookie or J.K. Dobbins if he falls here. Because they have a great offensive line as well. Good offense. And he catches passes. And then if you partner him up with another guy, then you're getting, they could go off on different weeks based off of who they're playing and the matchups. So it could look to go straight up J.K. Dobbins next, which I don't hate because I have the double tight end build. So I think it's a perfect strategy to pair and lock down a backfield that I think is going to be good. And if J.K. Dobbins gets injured like he did last year, R.J. Harvey should definitely get some more of the work, considering the other guy's a rookie. And it doesn't bother me that the rookie's there because if he stays healthy, he's going to be getting his work because they're different types of running backs. R.J. Harvey has more explosiveness. The other option, I could go Trevor Lawrence, partnered up with BTJ, which I also don't hate. Trevor Lawrence had 9 rushing touchdowns last year, over 4,000 yards for the third time in his career. If he goes up in the touchdown department and gets like 35 and say 7 rushing touchdowns, which is believable. He's gotten 5 in 2022. So yeah, I think I'll just go Trevor Lawrence here if he falls. Let's see who the Parker Washington. He's already got 2 quarterbacks. It's going this way regardless. So kind of surprised he didn't take Trevor Lawrence, but like I said, well, Trevor Lawrence gets sniped for me. No big deal. I will now go with what I was going to do before and lock in this Denver backfield. Paired up with 2 anchor wide receivers and 2 elite tight ends. Kind of need a smash wide receiver now. So now, like, I'm pretty cozy with running backs until maybe the final 2 rounds I'll take some. But my running backs are kind of done for a while. See some wide receivers here. Jacoby Myers, Matthew Golden. Obviously, Chris Godwin if he falls, which I doubt it, but he might. Romeo Dobbs to pair up with my Trevion Henderson. I don't mind that at all. Chris Godwin goes. Could look to get a quarterback here and Brock Purdy, which I also don't hate. Could get Bo Nix with my running backs. Definitely going to need to start hammering out wide receivers, though, at some point. But I do like Brock Purdy this year, and this I could pair him up with Stribling. Okay, yeah, I could see Brock Purdy having a big year. Actually, no. I'm going to get wide receiver depth and go ahead and get someone that I trust because he's done it 2 years in a row. So I want to start building this team out with some reliable wide receivers and then just go with probably, at the end of the day, 3 quarterbacks since I'm waiting. But just a little nervous and only having BTJ and Amon-Ra St. Brown through so many rounds when you have to start 3 wide receivers a week. So I think it's the right move there. I told myself I'm not taking any more Xavier Worthy after the injury scare. I have enough of him. So someone that I'm just not taking, especially in a $500 draft, because my exposure is maxed out with him. I just could see him getting injured just like he did last year. Thing is, he's just so fast, and those fast guys, it's like a car. If you're driving fast, the wreck is going to be worse, and he's also not a big guy. So that's why he gets injured. Now I definitely would be looking to take like a Bo Nix here or Jared Goff. I have a lot of Jared Goff in these big dogs, so I definitely hope Bo Nix falls to me here. But I'm cool with Jared Goff as well because I have Amon-Ra. Some wide receivers I definitely will be looking to take. Stribling, noting the guy behind me has Brock Purdy, so he's going to want him as well. Jaden Higgins. Okay, I'm getting my quarterback. Get him 9 picks after ADP, which is great when I have RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. And I got the Week 17 correlation with Trevion Henderson. They play each other Week 17. So I'm not really weak at any position. Wide receiver, we'll see what my wide receivers look like at the end of the draft. But right now, I'm not really too worried because I like a lot of these guys in this range to fill out a wide receiver room. And then, hopefully just every week I'm dominating the field with my tight ends. And there's some weeks, hopefully too, where these guys can fill in my flex. So then I only need 2 of these guys. And on a weekly basis, one of these guys should be performing, considering Denver's offensive line is great. So then I only need 1 of these guys. So I like the way I've built this team so far. It's definitely unique and something that I typically don't do, which is also good. This is how you do it in the big dog. You can't draft scared. You got to just kind of go for it. Let the draft come to you. There's multiple ways you can win in these underdog tournaments. So don't get stuck in one type of way of drafting. You definitely have to be flexible. Don't always take the same guys, etc. I might go, even though they have the same bye week, Baker Mayfield here. He's got a fire lit under him. I'm also getting him, again, about 9 picks past ADP. I'm not concerned about their bye weeks. And he's a guy that, he can have major spike weeks because he runs as well. So really like him in the best ball formats. I've seen him advance teams in the past. He loses Mike Evans, but he gains a healthy Egbuka, Ted Hurst, Kenny Gainwell, Bucky Irving's back. So like he could just dump the ball to Bucky Irving and Bucky Irving could run off for a 75-yard touchdown. That's why he has great opportunities for spike weeks. It's because his weapons are really good. Same with Bo Nix. Jalen Waddle's in the picture now. They bring in another running back just in case J.K. Dobbins goes down. That's good. So defenses have to respect the run. I could see Bo Nix with Jalen Waddle having a career year. Cortland Sutton's still there. So he has great weapons as well. Could definitely look to add one of these guys or like Brock Bowers as quarterback in the later rounds, the rookie. Cam Ward's still here, which I like. But I do need more wide receivers pretty desperately. Travis Hunter's here, which I don't mind pairing up the Jacksonville stack, which I will do if given the opportunity. He's a guy I've been taking a lot just naturally in these big dog tournaments. I just like his upside much better than a lot of these guys going in this range. I don't need tight ends. And pairing him up with Brian Thomas, in my opinion, is great because they could take turns going off on a week-by-week basis, and I have both of them, so I don't have to pick and choose when I'm starting them. The whole format of best ball. So locking in Denver's backfield with Jags' wide receiver room, with a tight end dominant team, 2 quarterbacks I believe in. Really like the way this team is coming together, to be honest. Let's go. Come on. Sorry for yelling into the mic, but this team is nice. Love the Brock Bowers and Colston Loveland decision. Love the quarterbacks that fell to me here. Love BTJ falling to me here. Like, I got BTJ right next to DK Metcalf. Give me BTJ all day. With Trevor Lawrence. I don't care if he's inaccurate with the deep ball. I'd much rather have Trevor Lawrence than Aaron Rodgers. Could look to keep taking some tight ends in this range. Maybe get one that's on Brock Bowers' team. Same type of concept. Like if Brock Bowers takes a week off, maybe it's because Jalen Naylor caught a touchdown. So yeah, I will be taking Jalen Naylor here if he falls, which he does. Just a guy that has touchdown upside too, clearly. He's on a new team. He could be featured a little bit. He got paid, so they believe in his talent. Not someone that like, I don't think he's not like a wide receiver that you watch and you're like, oh, this guy's like he's not super flashy. I just feel like he's the type of guy that does all the little things right and therefore could have like a very long career because he's not like super explosive like a Tyreek Hill, Trey Tucker type. So I think he's just like smart. And like I said, he does the little things right. That's probably why he got paid. And it's another receiver. I don't have a lot of him, so it's nice getting him in a big dog format. I do like that Week 17 game as well against Arizona. Yeah, Arizona Cardinals. And I have a lot of Ashton Jeanty, so this is nice smoothing out my exposure to that game as well. In case like Las Vegas is losing, has to throw a lot, these two guys score, and Ashton Jeanty has a down game. Protects me a little bit. Hedging my bets. See if any of these other teams are crazy. This guy's got 3 running backs, but one is Bijan. So that seems fine. And David Montgomery, who I do like, just to be like a guy who's consistent. He takes another guy, Tony Pollard, who just should be pretty decently consistent. And I kind of see that as like the Jalen Naylor pick here. Like I feel like he's like a Tony Pollard of a wide receiver. The difference is I'm getting him in the 13th round rather than the 7th. Like in my opinion, I'd much rather have a guy like RJ Harvey than Tony Pollard because he's just more explosive. He has a higher ceiling. He's in a better offense. 2nd-year running back. I'm on the clock here. Definitely could look to take another wide receiver or really lock down the Denver backfield. I have Baker Mayfield, so I know he's like injured right now, but look at this ADP value I'm getting on him. And I have Baker. So I really like this pick. People are dodging him now because of his injury, but it doesn't seem too serious to me. And he's in a good offense. I think he scored 8 touchdowns his rookie season. Chris Godwin's not a bill of health. Egbuka's not a bill of health. So I'm getting a high upside wide receiver here when I need wide receivers in a good offense. Really like that pick. Almost a 20 round ADP value. So this room definitely blessed me with that one. Especially when I have Baker. I most likely definitely want to protect this team with another quarterback, regardless of who it is. Especially because I have 2 guys on the same bye week. So I don't want to be taking a 0 in week 10. Kind of like Mendoza to get the stacks here, for sure. So may have to reach on him. But like when you get such great value with other guys, you can reach for a few picks, no problem, especially at this point in the draft as well. I just want to make sure I get him. Don't need tight ends regardless. And like none of these wide receivers, like I don't really like anyone in this range, to be honest. Like that much to not just reach on Mendoza to get the stacks under lock. Hopefully he's playing by week 10. That's what I'm betting here. Don't really believe in the Kirk Cousins lasting that long if Mendoza is good. And Kirk Cousins, just like if you've seen Hard Knocks, you know this guy takes an absolute beating every season. Really like how my wide receiver room came together so far, and I still have. I'm going to take 1 more running back probably and 2 more wide receivers. So it'll be a 3-5-8-2. So Jacoby Lane has now started going, I feel like, right around the beginning of the 17th. So I think I'm going to just take him here because, like I said, he's a big body wide receiver. Hopefully no one snipes him from me. These guys both have 7 wide receivers, so they shouldn't. They kind of need running backs. So really want to get Jacoby Lane here. But actually, I can't go. Oh no, I got my quarterback. So yeah, I'm taking Jacoby Lane. Should have some touchdown upside. In the Baltimore offense, Lamar Jackson's like 2 years removed from a 40 touchdown season. So if Lamar scores 40 touchdowns, the 6'4 rookie sensation could easily score 10, which if he scores 10 touchdowns, this team's advance rate goes through the roof. Especially when I have 2 bully tight ends. Just need to land the plane with either 2 running backs or 1 more wide receiver and 1 more running back. Could take a guy that I believe in Kaytron Allen. He does have Jacksonville, who I've stacked here in week 17. So like that pick. Like the Ray Davis pick. There's a lot of guys here that I don't mind making bets on. But Kaytron Allen, like I said, I'll take him for the week 17 correlation. So I'm taking him. Really like this team. Kaytron Allen too. He's just a guy that JCM's got all the hype so far in training camp. Like I haven't heard anything about Kaytron Allen, but that doesn't mean he's not putting in good practices. He could be doing well also, but people could be more impressed with JCM at this current time because he's more explosive. Like we know Kaytron Allen isn't a flashy running back. He's a guy that's going to get you. He's like a Kyren Williams. He's a guy that's going to get you your 4 yards, which coaches love that because that's super important in football because that causes first downs and touchdowns. So if Katron Allen is just better than that, I know he's better than Rachaad White. So if JCM's not like this awesome running back, which he could be, Bill, that's who I'm talking about, on Washington, then Katron Allen could take the job easily. He has the most rushing yards in Penn State college football history. So you can get him in the second last pick if you're drafting with me. Sometimes he doesn't even go. Could get Ted Hurst here, pair him up with Baker Mayfield, which I don't mind. See what other running backs are here. Cyrus Allen is here. I might go Cyrus Allen just because I don't want to get too concentrated in these offenses. Like I have 2 guys in the Las Vegas. I have 2 guys in the Jags. And then if I get 2 guys in Tampa Bay, it just seems like a lot. I have 2 Denver stacks. So I want to switch it up and get a different offense. If I didn't have Jalen McMillan, I would have gotten Ted Hurst there just to get a Ted Baker or Baker Mayfield stack. Love getting Cyrus Allen, though, with the last pick of the draft. If he didn't get injured, he was getting so much hype that one week, and rightfully so, based off of his film that I've seen. He's a very good route runner. He gets in an offense with Patrick Mahomes, who is wide receiver needy. So between these 2 guys, if one of them pops off, this team, like I said, the advance rate is going to go through the roof. These are 3 of my favorite rookie bets. So happy to get all 3 of them in this draft. So let's recap my team. I got Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, Mendoza, Breece Hall, Henderson, RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, Katron Allen. Really, I need Breece Hall to have a good season, unless Trevion Henderson completely takes over the backfield. But I'm confident one of these guys will be producing on a weekly basis. And then I ended up really liking this wide receiver room, even though I waited. I got Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Robinson, Travis Hunter, paired with Brian Thomas, Jalen Naylor paired with Brock Bowers, Jalen McMillan paired with Baker Mayfield, Jacoby Lane, Cyrus Allen, Brock Bowers, Colston Loveland. So yeah, I really like this team. Good offense, rookie upside. Should improve. Good offense. Hopefully good offense with a healthy quarterback. Good offense. Should improve. Good offense, and should improve. And good offenses should improve. The dominant tight end strategy. Smash the like button. We're going for first place in the big dog. Comment and let me know what you think of this dominant tight end team. I really like it. I got my stacks in. I got really good values. Jalen McMillan was a really good value. 2 of my quarterbacks were good values. Reached a little on RJ Harvey, but it allowed me to grab J.K. Dobbins as well. So yeah, really like the team. Thanks for joining. Subscribe to the channel. We're going for first place, baby. See you guys next time.